and welcome to a very messy kind of day in the life, week in the life. I've been meaning to film one of these for so long. I love watching them, and I wanted to show you a bit of a realistic insight into the business and what I do on like a casual Monday. So right now you can probably see there are lots and lots of different papers and stuff going on my desk. Today I am doing some content planning. I have been so bad at content creation lately in lieu of some growth in the business needing to be like #1 priority, and client delivery needing to be #1 priority. So what we're doing right now is just planning for the rest of 2021 and hopefully for the beginning of 2022. But in between that, it's Monday. So I have a whole new to-do list that kind of starts weekly that we have to make our way through. So right now on all of these different pieces of paper, I'm just having a little bit of time, I've eaten my breakfast, to plan and to just get it out of my head, get it on paper and see what needs to be done. So we have content planning, we have daily to-do list, and we have weekly to-do list going on, and anytime something pops in my brain, if I'm midway through another task, it's just a case of jumping into a new notebook and dropping it off. That seems like a really messy system, but it honestly works so well for me. For the rest of the day, we don't have an awful lot planned. The dog needs a walk. We don't have any meetings booked in, other than something with just one of the team members at 3. And yeah, I'm gonna take you through the rest of the day, the rest of the week with me, so you can get some insight into what a real day actually looks like. We have officially reached that time of the day where my brain is stopping working. I am now at 4:30. It's been a couple of hours since I've checked in, and I just need to step away from the PC. So what I tend to do when I start to feel like this, and I know most people are gonna hate this, they're gonna say, well, you should just listen to your body. Like if you don't feel like you should be working, you should give yourself a break. That's great when it's realistic. I completely agree with it. When you have the opportunity to give yourself a break, you should. But there are going to be times in life, in business, when the true self-care is by just getting the thing that you don't want to do done. And that's where I am right now. I have a presentation that I need to finish, and my inbox is right now at like 200 emails. So I'm gonna unplug from up here from my setup. I'm actually gonna go and sit downstairs, get myself a little bit comfier and cozier, and finish out my work day downstairs. That is what I tend to do when I start to feel this like itchiness of like, oh, I'm just getting bored sat at the desk. What am I gonna do? I tend to just move in the house, just get a different location. And it just gives me that little bit more motivation of like, okay, new area, new start, I guess. So I will check in with you tomorrow for an update on how the day is looking. Hello and welcome back to another day. So today it's Tuesday. It is about 11:20, and this is my first check-in. It's been a bit of a crazy morning. I've had some meetings and calls back to back. It's taken up pretty much half of my day. So I was supposed to have just a meeting from like 9 till 10, and then it immediately it ran over and then immediately went into calls with the different members of the team. So we are now getting ready to actually do some real work of actually things on my to-do list, things that need to be done. And this is pretty standard. This is something that happens a lot, is like I get sidetracked for a good few hours with needing to help freelancers with stuff, needing to ask queries on pieces of work that are outstanding. But it's all good. That's what I'm here for. That's literally my job these days, is to like support the staff and answer questions and queries on work allocated. So today now is going to be quite quiet for the afternoon. I managed to clear over 100 unread emails from my inbox yesterday, as promised, but I did not even touch the presentation that I wanted to look at. So the outline is all there from last week. I just need to finalise it and make it pretty ready for the actual event, which is tomorrow at this point. So that has to be done today. But like I said, all the content is done, and like what we're going to talk about is planned out and mapped out. So it shouldn't be too much of a job. It's just like putting the right images in the right places and making the content look nice. right now, what I tend to do when I do any speaking work is just brain dump everything I want to talk about into Canva, but like blank. So then I need to kind of format it and brand it up a little bit. And then the only other things that I have outlined is actually approvals. Like my Asana right now, the team have all been hard at work, and I have 3 different calendars that need approving from me today. And they all need approving today because they're quite quick turnarounds. So that's gonna be next priority, I think, is just getting those done and clear. So I will check in with you in a little bit. Maybe I'll try and peek you over my shoulder and show you what giving approvals looks like for me. So it is now literally 12:07 and I'm immediately starving. I am like a small child, and if I don't eat, I get really hangry. I've done 2 calendar approvals sorted. I just have 1 more to do that's only actually a 2-week calendar, not a month-long one. So I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna go and get something to eat. So we are out, about to go for a walk. This dog is like, why am I stuck in this car? So I'm gonna let her out and go and take her for a walk and check in with you guys shortly. So I managed to get out. We've done all of our errands. Hopefully I managed to get a couple of decent clips that are usable. Using phone was well different, and I'm not sure I'm equipped to be filming on my phone. The dog was jumping all over me, all sorts of stuff. But now it's about 4:30. I finished off all my calls. I've literally got 1 thing left on my to-do list. So I'm gonna actually hop into the Freelance Friday group. If anyone is familiar with Latasha James on YouTube, who covers kind of marketing and social media and all that sort of stuff, I have been a member of her group for approaching 18 months or so. And yeah, just looking for like a little bit of guidance from the group around my time, really. I think one of the things I'm really struggling with at the minute is the amount of time I spend on my emails. There are so many emails that come through a day. I get about 20 to 50 on average that aren't like marketing emails, that are actual requests from clients or updates and stuff. Well, today I have been crap at checking in with you. It is now 2 o'clock and it's my first drop-in of the day. I have been very busy today. I had an event this morning with Tara Punter, who is a wonderful coach on Instagram, and she invited me to speak inside of her program and deliver a little bit of training and info around building your first funnel, your first lead generation, opt-in, however you want to call it. And yeah, that went really, really well. But the prep for that was the presentation that I was doing over the last few days, and I've been dead, honestly. I feel like my brain has shrunk from that. I've been on and off of calls all day on what I thought would be quite a quiet day, but they were like short little half-an-hour calls that all ran over. So I've basically been on calls since then. Sometimes these days happen, and they're not as often as they used to be. I feel like I used to have a day like this at least once or twice a week. Now I think it's every other week or so, where I literally am like swept off my feet, haven't even looked at my to-do list, haven't even looked at my inbox for the day. God knows what could be happening. The world could be burning and I wouldn't know it. And then the only other thing I have to do today is film a video. So I'm actually going to try and sign off early today. It is the first time I've done that in a while. I've been kind of hopping in and out, but I've been doing work in the evenings downstairs this week. That's the only thing that I haven't been documenting. I deserve an early night. So I'm gonna try and finish by 3:30, 4 o'clock at the very latest, which is not a hugely early finish now that I mention it, because tomorrow I'm in a client office for the day. So every Thursday I have this standing day out of office where I go and work from a client space, because it's literally 5 minutes away from my house, and it's just a bit of a consultancy role, but it actually used to be my part-time job. So it's quite nice to go back there and feel like I'm still an employee every now and then. So I'm not going to be able to show you very much of that, because obviously it's not my office. It's not my things to share, but I will try and just show a couple of little time-lapsey type recordings of the day if I don't get a chance to check in at all otherwise. One thing I actually just wanted to say, I think one of the things that I want to be shown from these videos is the importance of balance. I really think there's too much weight put on this like ideal work-life balance where you have a really equal breakdown, and I don't work like that. I don't work like that in any element of my life, whether it's balance in work, whether it's balance in my health, whether it's balance in any aspect. I really do think it's much more complicated. I think the best balance that you can have is what you feel like doing. Like if I wake up today and I want to work for 14 hours on the bounce because I'm full of energy and motivated, but then tomorrow I don't feel like doing much work and I want to sign off early and go to the gym or go and do my food shopping, a bit like we did yesterday for a couple of hours, that feels a lot more like balance to me than simply working a 9 to 5 and always going to the gym for like 60 minutes and always walking your dog for 30 minutes a day and always spending an hour prepping your dinner, and like having these rigid routines doesn't work for me personally. I know some people thrive off of a routine, but I don't. I kind of like that. I kind of find it interesting. I think that's the benefit of being able to work for yourself, is you can shape your days however you feel like it. So yeah, that's my little spiel of the day. Happy Friday. It is the last day of the week in the life of my business. It is a quiet day. So obviously yesterday I was out of office at a client location with their staff. I took a couple of clips. It was somebody's birthday, so there was like pizza, there was cake, a bit of a celebration, which was really nice. I try to make Fridays then as casual and as relaxed as I can, and I usually take a half day on a Friday. I am working up to trying to take Fridays off entirely. But yeah, I just sit on the sofa. So I'm literally planted. I have a dog wrapped in a towel because she's soaking wet, and a bunch of blankets. I'm just going to sit here, have some TV on in the background, have a bit of YouTube playing while I get ultimately like anything that needs to be finished this week has to be completed, done and sent off to clients. And then I'm going to sign off. I try to keep my Fridays as free as I can. So when I say half day, sometimes that can be 2 to 3 hours of work. Sometimes that can be 4 or 5. So I really do try and do as little as I need to. So yeah, I'm just going to chill in here. This is essentially the end of the week in the life of my business. Thank you so much for joining me this week and getting to see a realistic view of what a week in the life of my business is this week.